You can call it north, you can call it south. Well, that doesn't work if you end up doing multiple gyms, north or south. You can assign a number to it arbitrarily based on when the gym opened, number one, number two, but then that doesn't communicate much value to the end user, to the customer. You can do city name, street name, but it's not always a street name that resonates. So that also might just be an internal reference and not an external reference that makes sense. So what we decided on is that both gyms will be called Starting Strength Oklahoma City, but then every area within a city has a colloquial name. So, for example, the one on the north end, most people would probably just refer to Edmond, unless they knew they were in Quail Springs, in which case they'd refer to it as Quail Springs. All right. Colby Iliff is the man today. He's the owner of Starting Strength Oklahoma City and soon to be Starting Strength Oklahoma City #2. You'll differentiate those as Quail Springs versus, what do you call in the first one?
Well, it's kind of in the Westmore area,
Westmore.
which is like South Oklahoma City.
Right.
There's how Oklahoma City's kind of broke up. There's a part in South Oklahoma City that we're in. That's like on the verge of Moorish kind of area. So they just call it Westmore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good area.
And then Quail Springs is right on the border of Edmond up in the north, isn't it?
Yeah. Like
Nice.
literally not even a block or something.
And that's what, 30, 40 minutes from each other?
About 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So you're the first one to do 2 gyms in one city.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yep. That's right. It's just Oklahoma City. So the land mass of Oklahoma City is pretty vast. So, you can take 40, 45 minutes to drive from one side of the city to the other. And how we're kind of broken up is typically people from the north side, they don't really travel south, or south doesn't travel north. So it's kind of a good setup for us right now. We have a pretty good market that we can kind of hit on the north end as well.
You were the fastest one to get it done. Not only were you the fastest gym build out, which, I mean, we could attribute that to some skill, but it was mostly luck, I think, just
I think so. Yeah.
Living in Oklahoma City where things are pretty easy and straightforward, and having a good, well, not at first, but you eventually got to a good general contractor, had a building that didn't need much work, not a whole lot of regulation. So got it done for cheap, got it done quickly. And then your second gym is moving along quickly too. So I think you are the owner that's been quickest to open his second gym, and also the owner that's first one to open 2 gyms in one city.
Right.
And I think you might be the youngest owner too.
That might be, yeah.
Because although your grizzled, manly good looks aside, you're only what, 30?
I'll be 30 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually.
Happy birthday, man. Shit.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
It's not a bad life.
So,
two gyms at 30,
Yep.
Got a family.
You got to risk it, man.
Yeah, I got to go for it. Let's talk about that.
Yep.
What motivated you to open a gym? What were you doing before, and what was the thought process?
So, I mean, I guess I could start off. I got my mechanical engineering degree from Oklahoma State, and after that, I went out to go work for Boeing in Oklahoma City. And I had a really good job, really stable job, but I just wasn't, I guess, satisfied with the idea of a stable income, if you could say.
That's
I wanted
boring,
the ability to kind of, grow my own, have my own kind of ability to change the income from a weekly to monthly basis. So I started looking around, started coming up with ideas. And around that time, I was thinking, man, I love working out. I love exercising. I didn't know anything about starting strength at that time. And so I started venturing into different gym concepts around, anytime and whatever. And it's just financially was not even worth it. You got to have this mindset of, you have to have as many people into the gym or as many memberships as possible. and it's just kind of saturated in the market already.
Mm-hmm.
So after Boeing, I quit there and I went to go work for as a sales rep. So I got out of engineering into the sales side, and that's kind of where I was able to take things off and help out financially for my family, and kind of open up more opportunities for the gym. And
That's how you know our world is backwards, by the way, when salespeople make more than engineers, but that's the reality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can't remember what year it was when you guys announced you were doing the gyms.
2018.
2018.
Mm-hmm.
So it was around that time that I also discovered Starting Strength through a group of friends in Oklahoma City that I was training with. And when I saw that announced, I think I might have even reached out to you guys to request a gym in the area or request a franchise. I think I was declined because I think you guys were just looking at the bigger Houston areas and markets like that.
We didn't know if this was going to work.
Sure, it was around 2018.
Yeah, man, come on.
What's that?
We didn't know this was going to work. Give us a minute to figure things out.
I just wanted to jump in. Let's do it.
Yeah, I knew the first few gyms were really important, so it's like, let's stack the deck in our favor. Let's make sure it's a really dense market, tons of wealth. We can kind of control all the variables, lots of demand, and then you were basically an experiment, right? It's like, well, okay, this model works in tier 1 markets. Can this model work in a spot like Oklahoma City? Well, the costs are lower, the culture aligns. Does it make sense? I don't know. Let's try. But I thought, based on what we did in the bigger markets and based on you as a potential owner, and then based on the
kind of the small market to open up, right?
Yeah. And based on the characteristics of Oklahoma City, I thought it was worth giving it a try. And yeah, I'm glad we both took the bet. You took a bigger bet than me, but it worked. And I'm sure it helped to have Chase Lindley as your SSC opening up. I mean, that couldn't hurt, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So 2018, I think I sent in a request for Oklahoma City, not really thinking it would ever happen. Fast forward a few years, when was it? 2020. Of course, COVID was kicking off. So great time to open a gym. Yeah. And I remember, I don't know if I had a bad week at work or whatever, but I remember I was sitting outside of a physical therapist's office, about to go in there and get worked on. And I just happened to go onto the website. And I was like, I'm going to try this again. So I sent in my request to own the franchise in Oklahoma City. And I think Becky or somebody contacted me like the next day. And through this whole time, through the first few weeks, I didn't even tell Sierra about it. I was just kind of experimenting to see what happened. And I think it was after I talked to you that I'm like, okay, babe, I sit her down. I was like, I kind of did something here. I want to tell you about it. And it took a while to get her committed on to do this.
Those are always the fun conversations. So, wife, how do you feel about existential financial risk? You comfortable with that?
Yeah.
I just for whatever reason, I just want to start. I know I've got a good income. Things are great, stability, all that stuff. But let's just take a gamble, see what happens.
Yeah, we didn't even have a 1-year-old. She was not even 1 yet. So we had a barely 1-year-old and 3-year-old at the time. Yeah, she was not on board at first. Yeah. And what actually did it for her was we scheduled a one-on-one session with Brent Carter down in Dallas. So one weekend we loaded up. I took her down to Dallas and we did pretty much just ran her through an intro.
Nice.
And it was in the parking lot after we had left there. She was like, yeah, let's do this. She's like, if I can get on board for this, then, anybody walking into these gyms could be sold on it.
And she kind of discovered the most important part of how we do business, which is you can try to explain it all you want. You can try to articulate what it is in a print ad or on an internet post, but you really don't have any idea what we're doing at these gyms until you come by and experience what it's like to be coached by a starting strength coach. So I'm glad you guys took the time to go down there. It seems to have paid off. You seem to be happy with your investment because you've been so quick to open gym number 2. And 2 gyms in a small market is I mean, man, we're pretty happy with the way this thing is going. We're off to a good start.
Mm-hmm. I think there's even more potential in that as the brand grows.
Yep.
Like as of today, I don't think Oklahoma City could hold 3, but as this becomes a name brand and everybody knows who we are, I don't see why small markets can't have multiple gyms
The Austin
throughout.
team just showed me their plans for the Austin market, and it was either 7 or 9 gyms. They had them picked out in maps and
Wow. Yeah.
what areas they wanted to go to throughout Austin. I think it's totally doable. I know
Yeah.
JD is about to sign for his 5th gym in the Houston area, and I know Brent and Andrew Mueller are thinking 20 gyms for DFW, which
Yeah.
Mueller's the guy with the ambition. I mean, they're both ambitious, but Mueller is the high stakes gambler, So
Yeah. Yeah.
that'll be interesting to see unfold. But if they keep doing it the way they've been doing it, where it's open a gym, wait till it's profitable, then open another, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah. And I mean, for us, the reason why we're kind of jumping on number 2 so quick is the demand in North Oklahoma City, Edmond is just too much to just let sit there.
Yeah.
We have there's too many leads. There's too many people asking for it to just wait it out.
And it's far enough away where it's not going to cannibalize your business at Oklahoma City. Number one.
No, we have a few members that drive down from Edmond, mainly retirees, but I think, and even them, I think they're comfortable where they're at right now. They don't even really want change. So I think they're actually going to stick on what
if
they've
you're
been
retired,
doing.
you can afford the time. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This whole exercise, Colby, has forced us to make kind of a fun decision. So throughout my career, I've been involved in retail, and retail that's expanded across, cities, counties, territories, states, regions, whatever. And, big brands, big national brands always have multiple units in one city. And so the question is, well, what's the naming convention? What nomenclature should be used to refer to a particular gym? And it's a small problem, but it's a fun problem to have, because when you have 2 gyms in one city, well, what do you call it? You can call it north, you can call it south. Well, that doesn't work if you end up doing multiple gyms, north or south. You can assign a number to it arbitrarily based on when the gym opened, number 1, number 2, but then that doesn't communicate much value to the end user, to the customer. You can do city name, street name, but it's not always a street name that resonates. So that also might just be an internal reference and not an external reference that makes sense. So what we decided on is that both gyms will be called Starting Strength Oklahoma City, but then every area within a city has a colloquial name. So, for example, the one on the north end, most people would probably just refer to Edmond, unless they knew they were in Quail Springs, in which case they'd refer to it as Quail Springs. So it's like, well, where's the gym? It's Quail Springs. So do we call it Starting Strength Quail Springs, or do we call it Starting Strength Oklahoma City? Well, we call it Starting Strength Oklahoma City. So we can build that brand. We can build all that web traffic, all that web presence, direct people to a main landing page, and then people can pick which gym they want from there. And this is perfect timing because our new website's coming out in January. And then all of your merchandise will be the same as far as shirts are concerned. Both people from both gyms will wear Starting Strength Oklahoma City shirts. The storefront, the window sign will say Starting Strength Oklahoma City. The only thing that will say Starting Strength Quail Springs, which we refer to as the colloquial name, will be the website. So it'll just refer, and Google Maps. So on Google Maps, for example, it'll say Starting Strength Oklahoma City - Quail Springs, and then Starting Strength Oklahoma City - what are we calling the first one again?
Westmore.
Starting Strength Oklahoma City Westmore. So that's kind of a cool milestone for the company. I like little problems like that, growth-related problems where we have to start thinking about, well, what do we do here? Because we're setting a precedent. We've got to do it right. So you'll be the first for that, and then I think Austin will probably be the second for that, and then I think we'll have multiple gyms in 10 plus cities within probably 18 months.
Yeah, I don't see why that's not possible.
Yeah,
and yep. I like this approach too. It just makes it easier on the owner end too to have one social media, because we combine our social medias and everything together. Yep. Don't have to recreate all that influence.
Yeah, you don't want to manage 2 Instagrams and 2 Facebooks. And that gets clunky.
Put it all together.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
I want to hear your progress when it comes to weight on the bar. Where were you when you started lifting? Where were you when you found Starting Strength, and where are you now-ish, roughly?
Okay. Yeah. So whenever I started lifting, I'll back up a little bit before that. I didn't know if you knew this, but before starting strength, before weightlifting, before powerlifting, I was really big into P90X and the whole Beachbody scene. I was actually Beachbody coach for a while.
Oh, this is hilarious. Do you have a picture of you in underwear or board shorts that we can use as the cover photo?
Board shorts. I think there's one out there somewhere.
Skinny Colby.
Yeah, skinny Colby, skinny, 175 pounds probably.
Nice.
But no, I did that for a while with the idea of like trying to grow my own business in a sense. And I just found I was never really happy with it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm light, but I'm not strong. I don't feel confident still, even with what I'm doing. So then I started branching out to some programs I found online. And I can't remember the names of them, but they were barbell programs that, you go to the gym, you squat so many times a week and everything. And around that time, I started around, I could probably barely squat 135, 150 pounds for reps. And I was making a little progress, and I reached out to a friend of mine who I went to college with, and I just would see some of the videos he'd post of him squatting, deadlifting. And he's a little shorter than me, a little smaller. And I was like, God, this guy's lifting a shit ton. Like, how is he doing this? And so I reached out to him, like, dude, like, what do I need to do? And he's like, go look up Starting Strength. So I was like, okay. So I got the book, got the app, started progressing around, again, it was probably 155, 160 pounds. And then I actually went to go start working out with them in their gym. And around that time, I got up to around a single at like 455 pounds on the squat. Benching was 340, 345. Deadlift was about 500, 495, 500 pounds. Pressing wasn't ideal for my technique. So I was only able to get to like 185, 190 pounds. Then you fast forward to actually getting the gym open up here, getting Chase up here and Phoebe here, doing my programming. And I was able to get my squat up to about 520, I think is my PR right now. Deadlift is 555 that I did at the Wichita Falls meet about a year ago. And press, I've got up to 270.
Nice.
And my best bench to date is I did 365 I was supposed to do it for a single, but it felt so good. I actually did it for a double that day. And it was after that, like those PRs kind of hit around the same time. And then I got sick with some stuff and some minor setbacks, and I'm almost back there again, and I'll surpass them pretty soon. But that's today. So
you hang out with Chase Lindley, and then your press goes up 90 pounds, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, you teach them. It's not just the form. It's that, you don't understand how many times you have to press a week to get up that. I was pressing 4 days a week at that point.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, but I would have never known that without a coach helping me.
Yep.
So, and it was interesting because previously my benches have always been fairly, they've already been fairly high just because I was, played football in high school. So you bench in high school, right? And
that's the one barbell movement that everybody does.
One barbell movement we all do. Yeah. And it was always the same thing. I would get up to around a 300 pound, 350 pound, 15 pound bench, and I'd tweak something in my shoulder. I'd tweak a rotator cuff. It was just inevitable. And once I was able to get my press up to 250, 270 pounds, then all of a sudden, like, oh, there's no more tweaks in my bench. Nice. Now I can actually raise my bench up even more.
Maybe I need to get my press heavier. I'm still screwing up my shoulder on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now I'm in the process of training for a meet in March. It's a powerlifting meet in Oklahoma. And, so I have to prioritize my bench, but I can't let my press go. So at the same time, I'm having to drive my press up too, just to keep my shoulders healthy.
Good thing you own a gym. You'll be there a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. With 2 gyms and another job, man, that's tough.
Yeah. Tell us about that. 'Cause you're moonlighting. You're a gym owner who's also doing a day job. Tell us about your day job and how you balance the two.
Yeah. So I put a lot on Chase and Phoebe for the day-to-day stuff. It's not, the time commitment of the gym for me is typically held on the weekends and some of the evenings if I got administrative stuff. But I've got to rely a lot on my coaches for member retention, for answering phone calls. A lot of that stuff gets kind of put on their plate, which Chase wants that. He wants that kind of responsibility. But for my work outside of here, yeah, I'm working 40, 50, sometimes even 60 hours a week. You never know with the sales job where you're going to be going that day or who you're going to be talking to or traveling around. So it could be a lot. Definitely try to squeeze in some training time in the evenings. But I love it. I love seeing the gyms grow. I love my job right now. So it's that motivation keeps me going on it.
Sure, the wife didn't mind you keeping the day job too.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made it happen.
What's the plan? Are you planning on juggling indefinitely, or you reach a certain threshold and then quit your W-2?
I mean, as we'll see how the second gym goes. But ideally, you're looking long-term pace. I mean, I don't see why, if once both gyms are established and we've got a good team of coaches, I don't necessarily really want to be a day-to-day working in the gym anyways. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do want my SSC. Then if I have to fill in an evening or a coach here or there, or be able to have the experience to help them. But really, I mean, I do enjoy my job. So I don't, as of right now, my plan is to stick this through and keep it going.
Right on. What's your situation with becoming an SSC?
Well, I started the prep course, haven't gone as fast as I wanted to through it, just with life, job and everything. It's kind of slowed down, but I'll typically go into the gym whenever I can in the mornings, like 5:30, or I'll try to I'll try to train as much as possible in the evening classes with the members, and we'll help. We'll walk around, help Chase, help Greg, and then every Saturday I try to go up there and help out where I can. Learning from the coaches, learning what to look for, the anatomy and everything. That's kind of my current step right now. I mean, I'm probably at the point where I could take, a couple people through a session, not hurt them, mm-hmm. But it'll probably be another year before I'm actually to the point where I can even start considering taking a platform evaluation or anything like that.
No, that's surprising. I would think hanging around with Chase, you'd see him just dialing people in, and you'd become aware of what he's looking at pretty quickly. Or do you just not spend much time with him coaching? Or
yeah, well, yeah, and he helps me as well. But Chase's standards are pretty high.
Yeah.
So even though I'm in there looking like, I can see stuff, Greg can see stuff, Chase's standards for a coach are extremely high. Yep. So you might go in there feeling confident, like, hey, I can do this, but you're going to get put in your place pretty quick. So.
Yeah, Chase is great, man. Rip did such a good job.
He's an awesome coach. Yeah.
What's up with Chase lately? He's just a monstrous guy, always getting stronger, always driving up his Olympic lifts, dating Phoebe. What's the latest with I was one behind the camera for those 2 interviews on the love affair between those two. So give us the update on that.
Yeah. So, Chase is obviously focused on his Olympic lifting right now. He wants to really drive that up. And right now he's actually getting help from Mosier out of Hawaii. Who's helping him through a lot of his programming right now. And he's doing good, man. It's been interesting to watch him go through this, because I know it's been frustrating for him, because he's always used to being the strongest guy in the market, strongest guy in the area for what he's doing. And with the Olympic lifting, he's had to learn a lot of stuff that he wasn't really, I don't think, used to. So it's been interesting to see him kind of grow in that, get face the frustrations and want to give up, and then just turn around the next day and like, well, I've got to do it. So he keeps doing it.
And you got some crash pads in the gym, so you're not shaking your neighbors apart, correct?
Yeah, crash pads, and we had to install a I don't even know what it's called. It's like an inch thick rubber foam that we got off Amazon that we put underneath the Olympic platform.
Oh wow!
To help out, and that helped out a ton.
It doesn't squish under the weight, huh?
No, it doesn't. It's been holding up pretty good.
Nice. Okay.
he gets a lot more bounce out of the bar when it lands,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something we've got to deal with to satisfy the neighbors.
Maybe you can remember to send me some videos of him doing some big Olympic lifts, and we can splice those in here.
Yeah, absolutely. He actually just recently destroyed one of our barbells, so we had to get a new one replaced.
when he trains with the Texas Power Bar, with the Starting Strength bar on the squat, the thing has so much whip. I'm like, man, that bar feels stiff as a board when I use it. I don't get any whip. What's the difference?
Yeah, it looks like he's
several
using
plates.
Olympic bar squatting.
Several plates is the difference. Yeah. What about your members? What are the member stories like down there? I remember I came to visit you guys early on. You had a couple of people that were just getting started. Anything notable to mention?
Man, we have a lot of great members. And I mean, a list of stories that we need to get out there. And I don't think I'd be doing diligence just bringing just one or two up, but we've had, there's a family that comes in on our noon sessions, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Cujo, his wife, Luana, and their son, Conrad. And they joined right when we opened. I think Cujo was one of he signed up the first day, and his family signed up shortly after that. But they're one of the groups that come down from Edmond 3 times a week. So they're making a 40-minute drive. And Cujo, he's retired Air Force. Luana, she's not working. And their son is 27, and he lives with them for he's got some disabilities that kind of prevent him from living on his own. And
physical, mental, or both?
What's that?
Physical, mental, or both?
I think it's mainly mental right now. It's I guess when you're coaching him, it's just a difficult processing kind of some of the things we're saying like real time. So he kind of like whenever Greg coaches him, kind of got to go through the teaching progressions almost every set. And to watch this family grow, like Cujo's always been in powerlifting, but really to watch Luana, Conrad grow under the bar. I think when Conrad started, I'd have to go look this up, but I mean, he wasn't squatting but 40, 50 pounds, just to the box, just trying to learn it. And I've seen that guy squat now like 250 pounds on his back. So it's been awesome to see kind of that family grow and learn underneath the bar, I guess. So that's a good one. I remember we had a guy come in.
How does he feel about it, by the way? The kid.
What's that?
How does the kid feel about it? The one that put up 250.
It's funny. He'll be coming up to hit a PR or something. And they're like, all right, Conrad, it's time to go. And he'll be all right, throws on the belt, get on the bar, squats it. He's finished. And then he wants to talk about Dragon Ball Z right after. Just doesn't even,
he's not even paying attention.
Yeah. He's just, it's cool, but he loves it. He shows up and he's looking forward to it all the time.
Awesome.
They've all done amazing stuff. Luana, she actually had osteoporosis whenever she started as well. And she's been able to kind of get out of that osteoporosis phase. And now she's, her T-score level went down to osteopenia.
Oh, wow.
Within a year.
So you had a bone density report pre-Starting Strength Oklahoma City that indicated osteoporosis. You trained with you guys, and then it got downgraded to osteopenia.
We've had 2 members with that. And we've had another one.
Why are you guys keeping that quiet? Put that on the forum.
Trying to get them out.
Put that on social media. Get John down
there.
Luana,
she's been on social media, but we need to we'll do a good video for them.
Cool.
I've already got it in the works.
We've got 9 open gyms in your area. So if you partner up with Heon, Carter, Shipley, Diffley, you guys can split the expense and have Conti there for a week or two. John Conti's our cinematographer guy. He's been on the podcast before. So if you fly him out, he can just go spend a day or two with each of you and knock out a bunch of great content. We can show everybody what the hell we're up to in these gyms. Because I'm telling you, man, we don't really have much of impediment to growth because we've got plenty of demand. But as far as making this brand a household name is concerned, we got to show people what we can actually do. You and I talking about it is is interesting, but showing, having the person discuss the results and the impact on their life directly out of their mouth is, that's the company focus at the moment. So let me know, man. I got a camera. I'll come down there.
Yeah, man. We need to do it. We got several stories like that. The other lady who had osteoporosis, she had a rotator cuff surgery as well a few months after joining. And she had rotator cuff surgery and had to repair a bicep tendon. And she, and it was through a previous injury, not an emergent.
I figured.
Bothering her for a while and finally just had it taken care of. And she was out a good 6-7 weeks. But once that 6th or 7th week hit, man, she was back in the gym. Chase had her, Phoebe had her doing some exercises to help with the range of motion, not necessarily pressing with the bar yet. And I mean, fast forward nowadays, she's hitting PRs on the press that she never hit before. And I remember talking to her about it. She said she would go into her physical therapist and her doctor, and they're like, you're progressing so fast. Like, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. And she would never tell him at first. She didn't want to tell him, like, I'm lifting barbells. It wasn't until she was released that she's like, well, this is what I did. And they're like, no,
you're going to change your mind if I tell you what I'm actually doing.
Yeah. So that's been a pretty cool one.
So what's the coaching staff situation down there? So you've got Chase and Phoebe, and then what are you going to do at the new gym, and what's your plan personnel wise?
Yeah. So we have Greg Herman has been an apprentice with us since we first opened, and he's been committed to the program, committed to the he's finished the prep course. So he's committed to become a starting strength coach, and he's at a point right now where he is more than capable to lead sessions. And so he's going to be going up to Edmond, taking the majority probably of the classes up there, and Chase will be assisting other classes up there as well.
Going back and forth.
Yeah, Chase will be going back and forth right now.
Yeah.
So we are in a high demand for getting help. We can make this work for the beginning of once Gym 2 opens up, as classes aren't full, you got time to kind of move stuff around. But it won't be very long. We'll be needing more help for sure.
So you're hiring.
Yeah, we are hiring.
You're looking for apprentices. You're looking for coaches that can already coach the model. And are you looking for SSEs too?
Yeah, we're looking for SSEs. Yeah, people that can coach the model.
Yeah,
they can want to come learn under Chase and Phoebe. They can develop them in a pretty quick pace where they're leading sessions. So we're looking for all kinds of help right now.
Bree, why don't you link the Tulsa video to this spot on the podcast, and then we'll let everybody know that Tulsa's wonderful. Oklahoma City is just down the street. And I think it's even less expensive than Tulsa, cost of living wise, isn't it?
I actually don't know.
Well, I would be shocked if it wasn't, based on the demographics and the density. Tulsa's kind of the major town. So OKC is a great place to live. Cost of living's low. Can make some good income working for Colby and Sierra. If you are wanting to be a coach, hit up Colby and Sierra. So it's okc.ssgyms.com if you want to check out the gym and get in touch. And then speaking of your website, do you guys have any online coaching capability? Do you, if somebody wants to train with Chase, is he available?
Yeah. So we have Chase, Phoebe, and Greg they're all doing online coaching right now.
So if you want to get coached by the one and only Chase Lindley, okc.ssgyms.com. What else you want to talk about, man? We talked about your background, talked about your plan for gym number 2, talked about your hiring coaches, online coaching's available. What's going on in the world of the Iliffs in Oklahoma City?
Oh, man. And besides growing these gyms, man, and, birthday this week and got 2 girls. I don't really have time for anything else too much.
And you're only 30.
Yeah, I'm only 30, but
well, hey man, you were the quickest to open a gym, so let's just have you be the quickest podcast too, about 35 minutes. We'll leave it at that.
That's fine. All right, unless you got anything else for me.
Hit us with this. Where are you guys going? Or is it a surprise? Because I know we had to change the time on this podcast because Sierra is taking you out for your birthday.
Yeah, we're actually going to a Choctaw casino down in Durant, Oklahoma.
Is that a Indian reservation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
you guys
they've got a real big casino, a resort casino.
Nice.
They've got a good steakhouse that we're going to go to tonight. So I've already got planned out what I'm going to eat there.
Hell yeah. Wonderful.
Go sit down at some blackjack tables.
Sounds good, man. Do me a favor and sit at the $5 and $10 tables. Anything more makes me uneasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone to Vegas with some people that make me very uncomfortable, betting $40,000 a hand and shit. It's like, nope, I can't watch that.
No, I think the most I've ever done in Vegas is like $100 bet.
Yeah,
on blackjack, and I lost it.
I'm far too cheap to be throwing money away.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, Colby, you're as the audience can tell, you're a chill guy. You're fun to work with. You're really easy to get along with, and you get shit done. And we appreciate you, man. So thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah. Thanks, Ray. Thanks
and
for
happy
having
birthday.
Me. Thank you.
All right. See you, man.